Alrighty guys, welcome back to Star Wars Review. Today I'm reviewing Star Wars The High Republic Phase 2, Issue 4, Balance of the Force, Chapter 4, The Herald of the Open Hand, which was written by Cavan with art by Andrea Picardo, and it came out on January 11th, 2023, which I thought was an okay issue. It mainly takes place in one location, which is the Convocation Chambers on Jeddah, where the Convocation of the Force holds their meetings, which are made up of several representatives from several different Force-related groups located on Jeddah, including the Jedi, who are represented by Master Laban, who's a Solonian, but she's been mentioned in the previous issues and appeared briefly as a hologram in the first issue's add-on short story thing, but in this issue we actually see her and whatnot. But I liked seeing more of the convocation, seeing the representatives debate stuff and whatnot. But in this issue there are a few moments that were from the audio drama The Battle of Jeddah. In fact, a large portion of the issue is kind of based around it, and so I felt like the issue was more catching up to the audio drama and whatnot. Obviously, it's from a completely different point of view, and there's a lot more context for the moments, definitely for the characters in this story, obviously, and we do learn some more true intentions for the Path of the Open Hand, but weren't really shown in the Battle of Jeddah audio drama. But I'll dive into that later, as the issue picks up sometime after the last one ended, with Vildar finding Ty Sarek with a bomb in the Temple of Kyber, and then it blows up and whatnot. Which in this issue, we see Vildar wake up in the Convocation building, greeted by Maddie and the representative Susa Lee, who represents her species called the Lanto. But they both tell Vildar, what happened and whatnot, and how he was able to save Archivist Orna Lee, but Archivist Zumeg didn't make it. But the Guardians of the Wills caught Sarek and now have him in custody. But we see that the Convocation and the Jedi have Sarek's droid, Scoot, which Vildar thinks they can use it to find out what Sarek was doing. But its memory core was damaged in the explosion, so they can't do that, and it kind of makes it seem rather convenient for Sarek that would be the case. So he could get away with what he did, or what they suspect he did. But Vildar does wonder if he's wrong, and that it maybe Sarek didn't plant the bomb, which we then see Sarek in the Temple of Kyber being escorted to his cell by some guards, which he has an earpiece in his ear which is connected to Scoot, and so he's been able to listen in to everything what we saw earlier. But Sarek kind of says something under his breath as when Vildar kind of suggests maybe Sarek didn't do anything wrong, and so then the guards are able to catch on to him and find the earpiece in his ear, which Sarek tries to brush it off as he didn't know it was in there, but the guard ends up destroying it and then throwing Sarek into his cell, which Sarek tries to plead his innocence, but they don't believe him. And so it then cuts back to the Convocation Chambers, as we see Vildar and Maddie speaking with the Convocation about the bombing and Sarek and whatnot, as Vildar asks to investigate further into everything, as he isn't sure if Sarek was the one who planted the bomb, and that his previous encounters with Sarek have been frustrating, but he might have let his first impressions of Sarek cloud his judgment, like the Guardians themselves which we learn that the Guardians are investigating everything themselves, and that Captain Viss is dealing with it personally, which Maddie chimes in saying that Sarek and Viss have a past with some bad blood, so she wonders if Sarek is actually going to get treated fairly, but the Convocation doesn't really listen to them, and then tells them that the official story they're saying is that the explosion was caused by a gas buildup, which surprises and upsets Vildar that they would, blatantly lie like that. But the Convocation asks Master Laban to explain everything, which she then speaks with Vildar and Maddie privately about how even if they disagree with the decisions of the Convocation, which Laban says her and her aide, Jedi Olivia Zeveron, do disagree with the rest of the Convocation, but they make their decisions as a group, and the group decided this was where they were going to go, which, it seems like they made that decision to not cause any chaos on Jeddah because of the upcoming Festival of Balance, and so, they want to swipe this under the rug, but Laban then says that the Jedi can't always interfere, definitely in this case, as the Guardians don't want any help. But their conversation gets cut short as the Herald from the Path of the Open Hand comes in and starts making demands. First, asking for the Convocation to be disbanded as several groups inside of it abuse the Force, like the Jedi, at least according to the Path of the Open Hand. But the Convocation argues with him and says they're not going to do that, as those claims are baseless, which he then says if they won't disband, then all abusers of the Force should stop for the time being, so the Path can prove their theory right. But the Convocation once again finds his claims to be preposterous and dismisses them, as the Herald has no proof. So the Herald storms out saying now is the time for action, and he goes outside and starts speaking to the crowd, which this scene does happen in the Battle of Jeddah audio drama, but we do see the true intentions and just more to it, as the Herald talks about how the Convocation threw him out for disagreeing with him, and then does drop some truth as he tells them about how the Convocation is lying to them about the explosion at the Temple of Kyber, and how it wasn't a gas leak and whatnot. But during this, we see Yana Rho sneak away with the Rod of Seasons, but during this we learn that the Herald is kind of more creating a distraction, as we see Yana Rho kind of sneak in with the Rod of Seasons. Obviously, I don't know what her intentions are right now. I assume we'll learn in the next issue and whatnot. But then Tarna Mayak, the member of the Sorcerers of Tund, who's a representative in the Convocation, comes out and confronts the Herald and gets the guards to take him away. But the Herald has done enough, and it sets the crowd off, who are on his side. So the Jedi and Tarna Mayak try to calm the crowd down. But we then see the Great Leveler lurking in the shadows, which Tarna Mayak kind of feels its presence and sets off a big fire wave, knocking the Jedi and the citizens back. And that's where the issue ends. Like I said, there was some events from the audio drama which are present in this issue, which we do see more of it, and adds more, context to the moments and whatnot. But I do feel like it's kind of more catching us up to the events of the audio drama. But I did like the ending and the setup for the next issues. But I'm excited to see what the great Leveler and the Herald and whatnot were fully up to during the Battle of Jeddah, because we don't really see it too much in the audio drama. But I enjoyed the stuff in the first half of the issue, the conversations Vildar and Maddie had with the Convocation and whatnot, and just seeing more of the Convocation, seeing how they're trying to cover stuff up and whatnot. So yeah, I ended up enjoying the issue. My biggest issue with it felt like there just was some more catch up to do with the audio drama. So yeah, but my grade is going to be a B. So yeah, but that'll be it for this one. My next High Republic review will be, I think, the second issue of the Phase 2 High Republic Adventures comic series. So you can check that out then. But in the meantime, check out my other Phase 2 videos and my Phase 1 videos and everything else I do. But it's been Star Wars Review, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.